Grade, now that we've had a chance to practice our facts and we've practiced our new lesson, which was working with the thermometer, now it's time to practice what we've learned in the past and what we learned today. So go ahead, please input your name on this paper. This is your guided class practice. You'll need your pencil and you will need a red crayon. Pencil and red crayon. Today's date, you have two ways you can write it. You can write it out, you can write out as January 7th, 2021, or you can write it in digits, 1/07/21. Remember that's 21 because it's the last two digits of the year. You could also write it as 1/7/21. Both of those are acceptable. Okay? All right, number one, it says there were 43 pennies in the penny jar. Mrs. Kaplan put 17 more pennies in the jar. How many pennies are in the jar now? Now here is going to be a prime example of what your worksheets are going to look like from here on out. So what you're going to have is you're going to have a space over here that's called your workspace. And so what your workspace does is it gives you a place to do your adding or later on your subtracting. And so we know that we start with 43 pennies and Mrs. Kaplan put more in the jar. So we know that we need to add that up. 43 plus 17. Now you don't want to write it teeny tiny, but you don't want to write it too big that you don't even have a space for your answer. Sorry, we apparently had our guest come back again. And so we have to be careful with that. I also like to write my number sentence out right away so that I don't forget. 43 plus 17 equals. Okay, and now I'm going to add this up. My label is going to be pennies because that's what it talks about the whole time, and that's what it asks us. It asks us how many pennies are in the jar now. So 3 plus 7. 3 plus 7 is 10. I know if I have 10 or more, I can trade the pennies for a dime. And how many pennies would be left over then? None. See the number 10 here? All right. Now let's go to our dimes. 4 plus 1 is 5. And 5 plus 1 is 6. So I know that I have 60 pennies. So my answer is going to be 60 pennies. Okay? If you need more time to write that out, you're welcome to pause the video and start back up when you have that all written. We're going to move to number 2. It says draw 1 dozen donuts. Okay, step number 1. Draw a dozen. 1 dozen is 12. You have those drawn? Now it says your sister ate half a dozen. Half a dozen, you'll remember, is how many? 6. Half a dozen is 6. We need to put an X on the donuts she ate. I'm going to use my red crayon for it so that it's really obvious which one she ate. Let's go ahead and cross off 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many donuts are left? She ate half a dozen of them. She ate 6 of them. How many are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 donuts left. All right, number 3. It says use a red crayon to color all the rectangles that are congruent to the rectangle on the left. This is the rectangle that we want to see if there's more just like it. Congruent means same shape and same size. So it needs to look exactly like this. It could be flipped though, like this guy is, and that would still be congruent. It's still the same shape. It's still the same size. So is this congruent? How about this one? Nope, they're both rectangles, but they're not exactly the same size. This one? Nope. This one? Yes. So go ahead and we're going to color that one in red. This one? Nope. This one? Nope. This one? Nope. This one? Yes. All right. Great. Next problem, number 4. It says, what is the temperature on the thermometer? Let's go ahead and take a look at our thermometer here. It looks like it's in between 50 and 60, isn't it? So let's go ahead and count. We have to count by twos. 52, 54. It's 54 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? Number 5. It is 8:30 in the morning. All right. It's 8:30 in the morning. Is it AM or PM? Morning. Is morning AM or PM? AM. Now we have to show the time on both clocks. 8:30 means 30 minutes after 8 o'clock. 8:30. And how will I show 8:30 over here? Well, 30 minutes means that my minute hand is going right down on that 6. And if it's 8:30 or 8:30, my hour hand is going to go in between the 8 and the 9. My minute hand is clearly longer than my hour hand. And lastly, how much money is this? I'm going to separate my dimes from my nickels from my pennies. I'm going to label that my dimes are worth 10 cents, my nickels are worth 5, and my pennies are worth 1. And now I'm going to count. I'm going to write down how much I'm counting each time underneath. 10, 20, I have to count by 5s. 25, 30, now by 1s, 31, 32. So can I just go ahead and put 32 and leave that alone? No, I can't because I don't know 32 what. I need to make sure that I have my cent sign. Okay? Now that we have done the front side together, first grade, you are responsible for the back side. Please use that red crayon to color the triangles that are congruent to this one right here. Check very carefully your thermometer. Excuse me. Check and read carefully your number 5 here with 4:30 in the afternoon, AM or PM. Show the time on the clocks. Make sure that you use your workspace nicely for number 1. And lastly, make sure that your name and the date are both on this paper. January 7th, 2021 or 1/7/21 or 1/07/21. Those are all your choices. All right, when you're done with this back side, please go ahead. Make sure this gets put into your Thursday folder.